South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem is in the news for a second consecutive week, and she's moving further and further away from Trump's glory as his VP pick. She started off this week by claiming that if she became president, one of her first moves would to be make sure that Joe Biden's dog Commander joins her dog, quote unquote, Cricket, in heaven. This is what she said.
At the end of the book, you say the very first thing you would do if you got to the White House that was different from Joe Biden is you'd make sure Joe Biden's dog was nowhere on the grounds. Commander, say hello to Cricket. Are you doing this to try to look tough? Do you still think that you have a shot at being a VP?
Well, number one, Joe Biden's dog has attacked 24 Secret Service people. So how many people is enough people to be attacked and dangerously hurt before you make a decision on a dog and what to do with it?
Well, he's not living at the White House
That's the question that the president should be held accountable to.
You're saying he should be shot?
That's what the president...
She wants everybody's dog killed. This is amazing to me.
She hates dogs. And last week, we posted a clip about her on YouTube, and a lot of people were saying, like, you guys need to check the states that this happens in because it's different from state to state.
Okay,
I can tell you for sure, in Washington, D.C., you can't just go around shooting dogs because you feel like it. You can't do it, and that's a fact. You can look that up. I promise you it's a fact. You can't do it.
Okay. So she has wishes. Well, maybe not well wishes, but wishes for Commander. And
it is sick.
Like you said, you wanted me to play something specific last week, every week, right?
Yes.
Give it back, bitch. Give it back. Why are you gonna kill it?
Why are you gonna kill it? Speaking of Whoopi Goldberg, her memoir Bits and Pieces came out today. I'm going to start it tomorrow when I finish reading Jennifer Lewis's memoir. I'm a memoir boy. I love this. I'm not reading that though. I'm not reading Kristi's memoir.
No going back. It's out today. Out today. She also asked the publisher to make last-minute edits, removing an excerpt where she details a meeting with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. This is what she had to say when she was questioned about it on Face the Nation.
You talk about meeting some world leaders, and one specific one, quote, I remember when I met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, I'm sure he underestimated me, having no clue about my experience staring down little tyrants. I've been a children's pastor after all. Did you meet Kim Jong-un?
Well, you know, as soon as this was brought to my attention, I certainly made some changes and looked at this passage. And I've met with many, many world leaders. I've traveled around the world. As soon as it was brought to my attention, we went forward and have made some edits. So I'm glad that this book is being released in a couple of days and that those edits will be in place and that people will have the updated version.
So you did not meet with Kim Jong-un. That's what you're saying.
You know, I met with many, many world leaders.
But not that one. No. That one, but you wanted to take it out of the book, but like we know that it's there. So the answer is yes, you did meet with him. And you were correct when you wrote that in the book. What are we talking about?
Maybe she didn't because people are still asking.
Did you meet him?
I've been to the DMZ. I've been to North Korea. You know, I don't talk about my conversations with world leaders. And so when I looked at the book and I saw that excerpt, I decided to make the change to the content of the book, and that's been done.
So you didn't have a conversation with Kim when you were at the DMZ?
I don't have conversations about my conversations with world leaders. I've been working on policy for 30 years, Jesse, and that's what most people don't remember about me is I'm old. I'm a mom, I'm a grandma. I've got 3 little grandbabies.
You're not that old. So maybe you did have a conversation with Kim, but you don't want to talk about it.
I will not talk about my personal conversations with any world leaders. It just won't, and I'm not going to do it.
But didn't she write the book? So why'd you wrote the book? What do you mean when you saw it was in there? Somebody else wrote it and you were surprised?
She didn't realize it was being put in the book. Maybe she was talking.
But you realized this stuff she didn't write the book was in the book and you decided to keep that in there.
Well, more questions.
Governor, I'm not asking you about the details of this alleged meeting. I'm asking if the meeting actually happened. I don't think it did. And I think if it did, you'd be able to confirm for me that yes, it did. And here's when it happened. It happened, say, at such and such a date or a month, or you don't have to be specific.
I'm not going to talk about my conversations.
You're going to continue to have to answer this question then.
I don't think so, because the average American citizen is more worried about the border. They're more worried about what we see in a White House and a president that since January has gone out there and misled the American people over 150 times, and nobody pushes him.
Throw it back on Biden. He's been wrong 150 times. No one's questioning him. Why are you questioning me?
Well, to be honest with you, though, she was good in that. Because, like, when he asked her the
very
question,
good at obstructing, like, whatever people try to do.
He was like, you're going to keep having to answer this question. She said, I don't think so. She was smooth with that response.
She's a studying Trump. She definitely
and honestly, it don't hurt that the woman's attractive, too. Like, actually, she can make it pretty far in politics.
They tried to switch it up and ask her about other subject matters, but then she just got downright snippy.
Still think that you are in line to be Trump's vice president?
No, it's up to Donald Trump. He's the only person who will decide this. He's the only person who will decide. And I do speak to him.
May I ask what he said to you about being vice president?
I never tell anybody my personal conversations with
Did the dog story
President
come up
Trump.
in your conversation with
Trump? I talk to President Trump all the time.
About the dog?
About a lot of things. And right now, I tell you what, he is being persecuted in a political witch hunt in this court case. So I'm proud of him about how tough he is and how well he is doing.
Did you bring up the dog?
Yes, enough, Stuart.
Did you
this
bring
interview
up the dog
is ridiculous, what you were doing right now.
So
you need to stop. It is.
Okay.
It is.
We'll
Let's talk about some real topics that Americans care about.
I'm afraid we're out of time.
Oh, well, of course we are.
We do thank you for being with us.
Put that lady on the ticket so I can vote for her.
He wrapped that interview up so fast. He said, I think we're out of time.
Wait. Hey, Ty, Jesse, you may know. Ty, how old do you think she is?
Like 60.
52 years old. She looks like she's 36. Like, that woman looks amazing. I hope she's vice president. I pray that she's not vice president. I have not been this entertained.
She's vice president. Hide your dogs, hide your kids, hide your grandparents. It's a wrap, okay?
You know what's weird about Trump's politics and these people? Like, you knew people like this exist, like the Marjorie Taylor Greens, or like all these nut jobs, but it's like weird to see them like out. It's almost like watching a horror movie. Like, these people are out. Like, we know they're in America, but like they're in their shithole towns, so we don't care. But now, like, they're out. They're like really out here. It's crazy.
She is great at deflecting. She is awesome at it.
She is awesome at deflecting. I mean, not really. It's just egregiously not answering questions, which is
she takes up a lot of time when she does it. So she's just filibustering.
Yeah.
So she's like, that's Trump's technique.
Like, if you keep pushing the question, which a normal journalist would, you look crazy, and she wins. She's Sarah Palin on steroids.
Yeah, you could say that. I could also say so if she's Sarah Palin on steroids, what is Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Sarah Palin on cocaine.